Radio Legends, welcome back. We recently broke the game with the 5 Pillars of Weaponry Modding, and the feedback has been absolutely amazing. But here's the cool hard truth. An amazing weapon is useless if the Warframe's dead. I see too many players taking damage cap weapons into Steel Path, only to get dropped within a few seconds because the Warframe's build is a maze of mods that don't actually talk to each other. Today we changed that. We are playing the 5 Pillars to the Warframes, but before we touch a single mod, I have one requirement. Go to Warframe Wiki. The game's UI hides the math, and if you want to min-max your own full capability, you need to see the hidden numbers surrounding and the synergies, because knowledge is the foundation. Without further ado, let's get into the builds. Pillar 1 is survival. In 2026, tanky doesn't mean slapping on a vitality mod and calling it a day. Okay? You need to pick a lane under the survival umbrella based on your Warframe stats. Health taking. Example, Inaros. If you have high base armor, this is your lane. But to truly min-max this, I would recommend something like Arcane Persistence. It gives you scaling resistance that turns into a meaty frame into a brick wall by maintaining your momentum. Overguard. Example, Dante. This is the modern meta. Dante can hit thousands of Overguard, allowing you to ignore status procs to stay in the fight. And then shield gating. Example, Harrow. For squishy frames, Harrow is the king because he manages his own shields. Now for both shield gating and Overguard, I would recommend an arcane called Arcane Circumvent, or alternatives that amplify survivability through evasions, and use your canes to bridge the gap so that you can save a mod slot for extra power or utility or quality of life. That is the EHP logic behind the first pillar. Pillar 2, energy economy. If you can't cast, you aren't playing. Look at Sevagoth and his Gloom ability. That's a channeled ability that eats through energy like breakfast. Here's the math in the game that hides. For channel abilities, the duration actually lowers your drain per second. If you have high duration and a fuel source like Equilibrium, Arcane Energize, or even these purple shots that I have on my Sevagoth, it will actually replace the 3 efficiency mod slots so that you can min-max your energy, so that you don't have to hit the power low at all. If you can't cast, you're just a spectator. Pillar 3, Breakpoints. This is the difference between an okay build and a masterclass build. Stop stacking strength just to see big numbers. Example, look at Hildryn. To 100% armor strip with pillage in one cast, you need 400 strength. That alone is a massive investment that kills your other stats. If you use something like corrosive projection or a mod, that breakpoint drops to 323%. Now, just by understanding that interaction, you saved yourself multiple mod slots. Now, instead of struggling just to get raw power, you can then, of course, invest into more range. In this case, more shield, more better survivability, or a little bit of duration, because duration actually does help a little bit with efficiency on Hildryn. And if you're wondering how am I reaching 100% armor strip, because of Malt Augmented. It gives me another 50 something percent strength, and that is more than enough to hit the threshold of 323% to armor strip enemies 100%. Pillar 4, the geometry of the kill zone. Look at Wisp. Her research is a beast, but you need to understand the geometry. So I'm using base range on my Wisp, and I'm gonna use my research from on top of the little cliff or platform that I'm on. As you can see, it hits a majority of them, but not all of them. Simply why? Because I haven't hit that one, that one, that one. I haven't reached all of them. However, if I come down here and I go to my arsenal and I say, you know what, and I'm showing this as proof I have base range, but if I say, you know what, I want more range, well, what do? I do this and I do this. Now I have 175 range. Of course, you can switch out the Augment mod here for even more range, but I prefer this. Now if I come back here and I kill the enemies real quick and I spawn them again, and I'm gonna stand at more or less at the same platform here on the top, and if I use research now, it reached all of them. It didn't miss, okay, it missed maybe one or two, but you get the idea. It will effectively reach all of them at the end of the day. And this is a line of sight ability, but you get the idea. The more range you have, the better, but having too much is also a waste. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to range and how it affects the entire map, is that you have to remember that if you use mods like, let me go get it real quick, overextended, you will be sacrificing strength, and having less strength on specific builds is not always good. Thus, I would rather have efficiency issues, quote unquote efficiency issues, simply because I know I can replenish my energy without issues because of duration and equilibrium and etc. It's basically that. Now, the question you should always ask yourself is that, do I need that much range to nuke the entire solar system, the star chart, or do I need just enough range to kill a room that I'm in? That is what I'm going to leave you with when it comes to range. And more for the mission geometry. If you know that you're going to be in an open plane, like Plains of Eidolon, that's a pun by the way, then yeah, you can argue and say that, you know what, a little bit extra or even max range is not too shabby. Like 190 range is where I would draw the line, because 190 range is more than enough. And the thing is, if you can kill everything within 15 meters instantly, that's better than tackling enemies that are 50 meters away. Just saying. And a final pillar, utility and quality of life. This is the difference between life and death. If your cast takes 2 seconds, you're a sitting duck. Having high casting speed lets you stay mobile and reactive. Now, there are many ways to improve your casting speed, one of which is yellow shards, or if you dash twice into the floor using Maderai, you can get extra strength and casting speed. Now, for honorable mentions when it comes to quality of life, and I know a lot of people will hate me for this, but I don't use them personally, so I'm on your side, okay? Okay. Quality of life mods are this boy. It is prime sure-footed, boys and girls. Ladies and gents, this, yeah, I'm not Nightmare Frame, okay? I don't play with prime sure-footed, simply because there are many ways to go on with your day in a day-to-day mission in Warframe. Example A is going to be Arcane Circumvent. It gives you armor, Overguard, everything basically, almost everything. So yeah, when it comes to quality of life stuff in Warframe, there are many ways to look at it, and some of which do and makes a huge difference. Like I'm sure-footed, but again, I'm not a big fan of it. But when it comes to casting speed, there are many ways that you can improve your casting speed. Again, as I said, casting shots. You can even use arcane particle velocity shots, effectiveness on energy orbs. Like there are many ways to improve your quality of life when it comes to being a sitting duck and a walking tank. Like you're walking, you're shooting enemies, you're tanky, you're having a good time. There it is, the 5 pillars of the Warframe. Rebuild your frames, check the wiki, and stop copying builds that don't make sense. And I have great news, we are very close to 300 subscribers, and the support for the channel has been absolutely amazing lately. And yeah, my Discord will be in the description. If you want to join the server, I have an amazing server for over 400 members already. It's been growing very rapidly. So, tell me in the comments which one of these frames or pillars have you been tackling first, and what are your thoughts on it? And the TDLR is, look at the frame, look at the stats, play with how you want to play. These are just suggestions. You don't have to play exactly as I said. It's your game. It's a PvE game. And yeah, I'm Swifty. I will see you in the next one. Peace.